Hey guys, welcome to Poor Man Mods. Today I'm going to be doing a quick tool review for you. This is the Teslong 5-foot long articulating borescope. You may have seen your typical borescope before, you might even have one, but I highly doubt the one that you've seen or the one that you have can do this. Look at that. So the camera on it articulates, it's 5 feet long, and this one has a screen built into it, and it has an app to where you can access it with your phone if you don't want to use the screen or if you want to have a second monitor. So you can actually have 2 monitors set up, which is super freaking cool. But the most amazing thing about this is, of course, the articulation. This is such a powerful feature and is a total game changer for working on cars or really any kind of work. This is not the first review of an articulating borescope that I've done. The first one I did was much shorter than this, and it did not have a monitor built in. You had to use your phone, and that is cool being able to use your phone, but it's also kind of annoying trying to get the app to work every single time. So having a built-in screen like this makes it easier to use and quicker to use, and you don't have to worry about hooking your phone up to it or worrying if the case is gonna fit or not. It even comes with a 32 gig SD card in the camera already, so you don't need to buy an SD card. This thing is ready to rock right out of the box. You don't need to put a phone on it, don't need an SD card in it. It is ready to go and ready for you to use. And if this is something you're interested in, I will have a link in the description down below for you to check it out. I have behind me one of my cars, and what I'm gonna do is show you a really powerful feature of this tool. Now, of course, you can stick this in countless of places and see what's going on. But one thing that is super critical and can save so much time as a mechanic is checking on the intake and exhaust valves. I found a misfire with my friend's truck using one of these. You stick it into the cylinder and you're able to look backwards, totally backwards, up at the valves and see if the valves are intact or not. So that's what we're gonna do on this car over here. I've already got the spark plug pulled out. We're gonna stick this in the cylinder and take a look at the intake valves. It is so freaking cool. Now before we stick this into the engine, I do wanna show you a couple things. Now I do wanna take a video of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change modes here. Right now we're in picture taking mode. You can change it to video mode, which the icon is right up here. This is the mode to where you can review the pictures and videos you've taken. We're back to picture mode, but I want this to be in video mode. And I'm gonna hit record here because I want to take a video of us going into this engine. There we go. So now check this out. Now that I'm in the cylinder, we can turn around and check that out. We can see all 4 valves. How stinking cool. Now, another cool feature about this camera. If you've ever used one of these before, you know you can get turned around and it's hard to tell which side is up, if you're upside down or whatnot. This has a feature right on the screen to flip the picture. If you hit down on this arrow right here, it flips the image, which is really helpful. Sometimes you can get turned around and this is really handy. If you hit the up arrow right here, it does a couple different digital zooms for you. So that's normal, zoomed in a bit more, and we're back to normal. So that's pretty cool. What you can't do, unfortunately, is flip the picture and zoom in. Once you zoom in, it takes you back to the normal mode and puts it back right up instead of having the screen flipped. Not sure why you can't zoom in with the screen flipped, but that's just the way it's designed. But having the zoom feature is really handy. Look at that freaking view of the valve. How cool is that? Start another video here. Another thing is we do have a brightness button here on the camera, so we can dim it or make it brighter, and that's actually changing the light on the camera. So sometimes you'll get too much of a glare and you'll need to dim it, so that's pretty cool. Let's pull this thing out of here. How freaking awesome is that? Here's another scenario. I'm pretty sure I have an oil leak going on this valve cover, but this engine bay is pretty tight. It is not designed to have a V8 engine in it, but I'm gonna see if this Borescope can help me find my oil leak. So now I'm pretty much on the frame rail looking up at the underside of the valve cover. And there, I'm looking back at myself. Being able to flip this image is so handy. The picture quality is fantastic. But that bolt there is looking a little wet, and that looks to be like a little oil spot on that bolt. That is definitely oil right there on the edge of that valve cover. And the picture quality of this is just fantastic. Definitely an oil spot. So that bolt probably needs tightened, and hopefully that's the end of my leak. But without this camera, you could not get a good view like this of the side of this valve cover. Freaking amazing. All right, guys, there you go. Pretty cool stuff. That is the Teslong Articulating Borescope, and it does come with this nice case to keep it nice and protected, whether you just keep it in your shop or take it with you on the go. This can be helpful in so many different applications. This is definitely not restricted to just automotive. You can use this in so many different trades. Plumbing, without a doubt. I ran into a situation over the summer where I needed one of these by digging up a pipe underground and inspecting a clog. With something like this, you can get in there and maneuver your way through a pipe and find out the problem. Super freaking handy, but definitely extremely useful on the mechanic side, and that's what I'm going to be using it for, working on cars. Super helpful, but it's definitely not limited to cars. This can save you so much time in troubleshooting, and it can give customers actual evidence of what their problem is, so they don't think you're blowing smoke in their face. You can actually prove what the problem is with a tool like this. I think it also is cool that it does have the Wi-Fi feature where you can also monitor the camera from your phone, so you can have a second person watching you too. So super freaking cool. Like I said, I will have a link to this in the description down below if this is something you're interested in. It's definitely not a cheap tool. Now, this thing is cool, and it might seem like a toy, but something like this is definitely an investment, so I highly recommend it. Link in the description down below if you want one. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.